to the end, essentially.
But you say you want to talk. So
No, I'm just saying, like, just like, even whatever the topic says, I said just non-hypothetical, like, just what's going on, what's new, how's marriage? Like, you've been married for 2 months. Or has it been 2 months or 3 months? Going on 3 months?
Going on 3 months.
Yeah, so 90 days, first 90 days of marriage. How has that been?
I can't lie, it's been great. I feel like, I said a few episodes ago, like we already was going into a strong momentum going into it when we had that conversation about me just being better as, a leader in general and, just approaching situations and conflict and just all our situations a little differently, whatever. So I feel like that put us on the right. And, we cleaned the slate. Any past shit that you won't want to bring up and I want to bring up, we both say, that shit don't matter. I was even thinking about something the other day that, what? I'm not even going to use that as the situation about the whole forbidden shit. That was part of the reason why I initially said, what? It's cool. Fuck, let's see what happens. Because I didn't want to apply the past situation to this. I really wish we both was approaching this as like, like, the past is the past, clean slate into shit, whatever. Let's build from here, whatever. So that's part of the reason I was like, don't use that. I still might gotta use that. But I'll further develop. But other than that, we in a good place. Queen's still crazy. And I don't think we ever spoke about my California trip.
I don't think we have. Another thing, we didn't speak about a lot of things because a lot of episodes we didn't get.
Yeah, so my birthday trip went great.
No, we did talk about that first time.
All right, cool. All right, cool.
About it,
so other
that episode just never.
So we didn't talk about that.
Yeah. But it went good though. You went back to your birthplace.
Went back to the birthplace, recenter myself. Lena got to see certain shit, whatever. It was cool. And I realized I don't need to do it ever again. My mom. It all worked out.
Yeah.
But as far as like, taking my mom and Queen on a birthday trip,
it's like
no, it was good to do it the one time, but that's okay.
I seen that y'all was doing a lot of dad shit, like dad-daughter shit.
It was a mixture. Like I
didn't know it dealt fun.
That's we didn't take pictures. Yeah, me and Mama, we was out. We was outside.
Cool.
But it was a good.
He said that was some of my close friends.
Yeah, we kicked out that one.
I see.
But no, it was a good trip, and I still, was happy that I did it though. Yeah. That I took my mom, and I feel like I said, it wasn't about my mom, it wasn't about Queen, it was about us. Yeah. I think that's like one of I'm not sure if that's the very next season or chapter, but I know that's something I look forward to grow into. Just being, I probably said before, like, I feel oftentimes I'm always like, how can I be a better person? Like, how can I be better at what I'm doing? But I'm also trying to be like better husband, better son, better dad. And I feel that trip was like a effort to check off all the 100%. Versus just, it's my birthday, I just want to be me. Yeah. I just want to relax and, be like, no, that's, it's okay. Yeah, I'm at that age now. And I did ask Lena about, I don't have to
you preference the question. You said you asked her what would she want from you, but I know you already. I told Wolf you would want the crib and this and that. Once you do that, you take the steam out of it. Now she gonna think from that perspective instead of just letting her answer. But for me, I feel like over these last couple of weeks, I was trying to get everything in order. I feel like it was a lot of like realization. Like I've been like realizing, like even within myself, it's them little minor decisions that you make or don't make on a day-to-day that can literally create, good or indifferent habits that can lead to good or indifferent outcomes. And just looking at like, even like I always talk about practicing grace, right? And I feel like people it's always easier said than practiced, right? But just think about what we've had to endure as far as in filming over the course of this last month alone, and the other people who dropped the ball in multiple different situations that we had to extend grace while still moving through the situation to be able to deliver. And the reason I highlight that is because this is just me saying in real time, not in theory, that like y'all fuck up a lot of good relationships based on one-off situations that, if given grace, could be rectified. And not a lot of people understand that because they're too caught on whatever the situation was. And it's like true growth comes behind grace, and true grace is given to growth. So it's like I grow as a person when I can extend you grace behind doing something that I temporarily might have cut somebody off for, if I understood that your intent wasn't on no BS. And even if it was, I can still give you grace while cutting you off. And then I'm able to give grace in return when a person is growing. Like, all right, I'm going to see to it that I'm considerate and I don't allow that to happen again. And I feel like just going all the way back to the whole considerate topic and just understanding, like, we just never know what other people dealing with and what they got going on. So, grace is always necessary. But as for me in this particular season, I'm just I'm at a point now where I'm reevaluated what mattered to me. I feel like, you know, as we become more successful, it's easy to derail. And I feel like we always hear, and I'm be fortunate enough that I'm able to foresee and look down. I could do something small and think about it in the most magnified, maximized way to stop myself from going to that trajectory. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where there's some people, they get halfway down the road and then realize like, oh shit, I'm tripping. So I feel like, them small things like I've been giving a lot of my time. I'm dating, so I've been giving a lot of my attention to the dating world, and I can see how it's interfering with my productivity. Even though I'm still being slightly productive, it's compromise productive. It's like I'm slightly productive because it's like normally I'm literally up at 4 a.m. Now I'm getting up at 5:15, 5:20. So it's like those might normally go to bed at 9 p.m., but now I'm on the phone, so I'm going to bed at 10 p.m. That hour taken away from an hour from my sleep, that's taken away from an hour from my day, and I'm seeing the conclusions of that essentially and how it's turning into everything that we got going on, and just my need and my desire and my want to be able to show up and do certain things. So for me, just kind of reevaluating, shaving off certain things. I might even go on a fast. I'm thinking about it. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm definitely considering, you know, because, you know, when we get to a certain point, you got to rev it up a notch. Like I'm happy to have become a 5 a.m. type of guy, 4 a.m. I'm happy to become that. But now revving it up is like, all right, don't just get comfortable with getting up at this time. How much am I still getting done at this time? And don't get comfortable making this amount. How can we double this amount? Don't get comfortable with having these particular things going on. How can we enhance and improve those things or whatever? And for me, I went through those seasons of wanting to become a better son, wanting to become a better dad, wanting to become a better man when I was in a relationship, man for myself and man for my partner. But it wasn't like, you know, it's not like I'm not on that. I just don't have to do that as much considering the way my life's set up. But I don't also want to take that freedom and just do bullshit, because I feel like that's where I feel like a lot of men don't understand too. A lot of men got too much freedom and don't know what to do with it, and they're not making no progress towards being productive in ways that they say they want to be in the future, right? So it's like I always say, like a man, when you single, you're supposed to take that single time to build you. I always say, as of now, build your faith, your fitness, and your finances. You want to develop a relationship with God, not just religion. You want to make sure that your fitness is in order, because women like looking at stuff, and health as well, and just being in the gym, just build your confidence, just make you look and feel better as a man.
Mental health.
And then your finances, building your finances ain't just about making more money. It's about eliminating debt. It's about building better habits. It's about learning how to pay bills on time. It's about doing all of the things that you're going to need to already be able to take on and manage while being in a relationship, so that when you get in your relationship, you don't got to have to ask your partner to wait for you to figure it the fuck out. And I feel like a lot of men are taking a time while they're single to fuck around, and then when they get in a relationship, they want to get serious. It's like you had all summer to prepare for school, and now it was the first day and you don't got a pen. You don't got your supplies because you played around thinking that, all right, cool, it's summer, right? Yeah, it's summer. You outside, you can do what you want, whatever the case may be. But if you know that school was coming, you should be preparing yourself for that.
And you want to go to school.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's something you want to do, right? So if you say you want to be in a relationship, you want to be married, that don't mean you got to deal with one woman. That don't mean you can't date and, you know, have your fun. It just means that it has to be intentional. Like, what is these things? Like, if you're just out spending, you're not collecting no data on the women you dating, you're not doing nothing, you're not putting yourself in no predicament, so that if you do decide to take one of them serious, you can actually build with them. Now you risk at day one being with them, they're expecting you to already have these things figured out, and you like, no, babe, I need time to figure it out. Bro, you just had time to figure it out when you were single. So don't take your single season to just fuck around. Take your single season to get you right before you got the responsibilities of taking on other people's responsibilities.
Yeah, and to your point about the little things that add up over time, you know, before you got here, me and Ricky was talking about different relationship, whatever. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, me and my wife been together now, you know, in totality for, you know, over 10 years. And sometimes I think about just like, you know, what could have broke us up in that time, whatever. And I feel like people typically focus on like the cliche big things, cheating and like abuse and shit like that, whatever. But more times than not, as you know, Ricky said it, and I agree with him, is that it usually people break up with the nuance. It'd be nuanced situations and boiling points and breaking more shot. It don't just be, oh, they cheated. Like, and like he was saying, the nuance disconnects lead to those, maybe 100%. Those big things, whatever. Yeah. So it's like to your point about people don't get past those situations, you throw away a whole relationship over something that could have just been unpacked and figured out, whatever, given grace, then you can move past it possibly. You know, I think about that, we're like, no, it's been several things where it's like, if I look back, I'm like, yeah, that probably could have been an end. And I probably also know someone that did end for that reason, whatever. But now zoomed out is, oh, it's 10 years, whatever. No, but how many people also, friendships, relationships, commitments to passions or journeys or whatever it be, that could have still persisted with just that tweaking along the way and giving grace and figuring out and pushing through whatever.
And people tend to look back and realize that, right? You know what I mean? They always look back, and that's why a lot of people will look back and feel like they fumbled the situation because they didn't foresee what grace could have did for them. They only looked at in the moment what it did to them, right? And I think that's where it's like somebody be like, oh yeah, I fumbled or whatever the case may be. But if you know that you gave it your all, you left it all on the table, you didn't leave no stone unturned, you have no reason to feel like that. So, and this goes transparent across the board, whether in, you know, people giving up on career opportunities, people giving up on businesses, or people giving up on relationships simply because of what was happening, how they felt in the moment versus taking a step back, zooming out and realizing what the bigger picture could look like if repaired and if restored or whatever the case may be. So, and it was something else you just said. You were saying, dang, what'd you say prior to that?
The nuance and 10 years, the cliche 2 big breakups, and we could have broke up. Other people could have broken up.
Yeah,
they lead to the big blow ups.
Yeah, it'll come back, and if not, we'll just unpack because I think it'll go into a whole nother conversation. What I was finna even say in that regard, or whatever it may be, but ultimately, I think that even that's why getting 1% better just matter. You know what I mean? That's why these conversations matter because I feel like it's always something that if you out there, you haven't arrived at these moments, right? Take these conversations and take them where they could be applied. You know what I mean? Forgive yourself for what you didn't know at the time that you wish you would have knew it, and apply that shit moving forward. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Like, I don't really dwell on the things that I didn't know. Not having information privy to me. I always look at it like I'm gonna use the most information I have available to the best of my ability. And whatever I figure out after this, I wasn't gonna know before this anyway. So I can only use it moving forward. And that's what I want people to take from any experience that we give them, or any experience that y'all got and that y'all experienced on your own. Like, make sure you learn something from it. Like, I was serious even at the beginning when I said, nah, I really do be learning from shit. Like, learning from something, that's where grace, that's even where grace is important, because that's where people fuck up too. People think that if you don't learn the way they want you to learn, that you didn't learn. And that's not true. Like, everybody learn differently. We can literally have a class with 30 students and teach the same lesson and make everybody get a review on it. And it might be 30 different perspectives. And that's life. The ultimate goal for it to be is if you feel like you learned something and you won't make the same mistake, because everybody's learning curve and learning pattern is different, and how we interpret and process information is different. What's a lesson to everybody will be different. But the lack thereof of being able to see others' perspectives, most people think that if they ask you your opinion or perspective on a situation and you don't feed back to them what they think you should learn from it, they think that it was null and void, you didn't learn nothing. But in reality, it ain't for us to determine how somebody else learned. As long as they know, like, all right, cool, like, I didn't realize this, but now I do, and this is going to be something that I apply moving forward, then the information can be processed. At some point, they might get it, and we parents, you know, we men. So with that being the case, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of things you teach your daughter that she don't get the way you want. And you already go through it with your woman because it's been 10 years where it's like, yo, she don't even get it. But then at some point when she do, it's like, all right, cool. Like, you get it. You just ain't get it when I wanted you to get it. But that's okay. That's fine. As long as you got it the way you needed to, for it not to persist, essentially.
And like you said, the intent.
Yeah, for sure. What
were you saying, like, giving grace? Like, you know, you can give someone
grace. When the intent not. Right. Absolutely. But yeah, that'd be a whole nother conversation. Right. Because I done wrote a whole chapter about that in my first book. You know, just intent changes everything. And I think that's another thing where people just miss the mark. They miss the mark because they conclude your intentions to be what they assume them to be without actually getting to the root of your intentions. And this don't mean that intentions don't change outcome, but it does change intent. So it's like the outcome could be the outcome, but if someone's reasoning is not malicious or is not vindictive or spiteful, it changes the way it affects you.
Absolutely.
It don't change the way that the thing that happened, it changes the way you receive or perceive it happening, which can be all the differences to how you move forward and treat other people, or how you move forward treating a person that may have put you through that. You know, sometimes people might think, oh yeah, my dad don't want me going here. He's hating on me. He's trying to control me. My man don't want me wearing that. He's hating on me. And one of the last things I'll say before we land the plane is, like, ladies, y'all don't even understand, man. Y'all will put your whole motherfucking family in jeopardy just by how you dress, and don't even understand it. You thinking this man trying to control what you wear. He's trying to protect you. Like, I'm telling you, because the thing is, what sucks is men are men and women are women, right? But men get vilified and get monsterized, and that might not even be a word, but fuck it, we use that for the day, for men being men, right? So it's like, I should be able to wear my ass out and a man not be a man. But a woman can fall down, scrape her knee, and she's allowed to be a woman. It's like, cry, feel how you feel, scrape your knee. But when I say a man get villainized, it's like, a man's gonna be a man. You wear your ass out, a man gonna look. So now you out with your family, you out with your husband, you out with your man, whatever the case may be. You got your ass out. A man look, you're uncomfortable. That makes him uncomfortable. He got to make you feel comfortable again. What does that result in? You're putting your whole entire family in jeopardy because you want attention. Whether you see it that way or not, this ain't stemming from insecurity. This ain't stemming from control. This is stemming from protection. I wouldn't want my mom wearing certain shit. I'm not wanting my daughter wearing certain shit. And I don't want my woman wearing certain shit. I don't want my sisters wearing certain shit. I don't want my female cousins wearing certain shit. Not because of anything other than the fact that if they're not prepared to take the attention that it comes with, I don't want them wearing it. Not because it does anything for me, but it could do something to us if something happens to you behind how you're dressing, or you just come in feeling like everybody is stopping you and trying to. This don't mean you got to come out dressed like a nun. It just means understand the circumstances of what's going on. I could care less what a girl wear, right? But that's don't mean I'm not conscious of what it attracts. And it's like y'all would put yourselves in a middle of the fire with no situational awareness. And then when a man trying to tell you what you walking into, you take him as the person that's attacking you or the person that's trying to prevent you. Whole time he trying to protect you. And that's just something I want y'all to understand. Y'all literally will save y'all family a lot of unnecessary conversations. You to your man, or just man to man, based on y'all just knowing how to carry yourself and not needing that extra sense of validation. Because y'all try to frame it and phrase it like it ain't that, but we know what the fuck it really is. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. All right, that's fine. You're doing it for you. But the fact of the matter is, look at what it's doing to you in the eyes of others. Do you want people to respect you, or do you want them to just look at you as a piece of meat? Don't complain about being objectified when you put yourself on the shelf. And I'm not saying that to come for y'all. I'm saying it because that's where it stems from, protection. Your man might have been trying to say this shit to you since the beginning of the time. You don't get it. I don't have no arm or leg in that fight between y'all to be telling you the same shit that he's saying. The way you dress could be putting your family in jeopardy, respectfully.
And like you said, walking to the fire, they like fire. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I know you said got a showers in. Shower water be hot like they trying